MH370 plane plunged rapidly. Capsized boat in Batam kills 18. I'm Daniel Abakri, and this is Cuppa News. A report into the missing flight MH370 by the Australian safety investigator leading the search supports its view that the aircraft descended rapidly after running out of fuel with no human intervention.
The ATSB report released on Wednesday said analysis of wing flap debris showed the aircraft was not configured for a landing.
What we've concluded from the analysis of the section of right main flap is that it was probably in a non-extended position, which means that the aircraft wasn't configured for a landing or a ditching. You can draw your own conclusions as to whether that means someone was in control or not. But taken together with the analysis of those last two burst frequency offsets, which indicate a high and increasing rate of descent, it means that we're looking for an aircraft that's actually quite close to the 7th arc.
In a separate development, a lawyer for the families of 4 Australian victims told Reuters that Malaysia Airlines had agreed to release information about the missing plane as part of a compensation case. John Dawson, a partner at Carney's Lawyers, said he had been advised he would receive the information by the end of the month. The information is to include the most recent medical certificates held by the flight crew.
Meanwhile, a speedboat carrying 93 Indonesian migrant workers from Johor Bahru to Batam capsized off the Nongsa waters. 18 people were found dead while 39 passengers were pulled alive from the sea. The fate of the 36 other missing passengers remains unclear. One of the survivors, Haryanto, told the Jakarta Post that the boat departed to Batam from Selingi at 3 a.m. He said that it was after 2 hours of sailing when the boat was struck by strong waves. Search and rescue teams were combing the seas for any sign of survivors. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Datuk Sri Dr. Wee Ka Siong, has rubbished criticism from opposition lawmakers of the government's deal with China on the development of the 55 billion ringgit East Coast Rail Line, or ECRL. Dr. Wee chided PKR Bayan Baru MP Sim Tse Sin, who had described the ECRL as the world's most expensive railway system.
全世界你看这个招标，其他国家是不用跟中国比的。第一，比技术吗？它有2万公里。你日本你加起来，其他全世界的国家有多少可以跟它比？第二，价格低廉。中国现在有的是原料，那你也不可能跟它比的。第三，它能够提供你融资，前面7年你不用花钱，那么第8年开始做。那你本身也不是坐以待毙的吗？这7、8年你开发之后，整个发展规划可能最后对你国家整个得到的这个经济的利惠呢，是超过于这一些的。
Malaysia sealed a deal to build the ECRL with China Communication Construction Company Limited in Beijing on Monday. The project will be financed through soft loans from the Export-Import Bank of China. Parti Pribumi Bersatu Malaysia has announced its Supreme Leadership Council members. They include former EC Chief Tan Sri Abdul Rashid Abdul Rahman. Abdul Rashid, a Perkasa member, was appointed as one of the party's 3 vice presidents, while former Kedah Menteri Besar Datuk Sri Mukhris Mahathir is now Pribumi Deputy President. Former Langkawi UMNO Wanita member Aminah Sadudin is the party's women's wing chief, and top debater Syed Sadiq Syed Abdul Rahman was picked to lead the youth wing. A notable addition to the Leadership Council is former New Straits Times Press Group Chief Editor Datuk Abdul Qadir Jassin. In other news, the Red Shirts will be holding a rally outside Malaysia Kini's office at 3 p.m. this Saturday after the KL Mayor announced that Dataran Merdeka was off limits to both Bersih and the Red Shirts.
Kerana Malaysia Kini juga melalui laporan daripada kebocoran maklumat tersebut adalah penerima dana daripada Yayasan Soros ini.
The Red Shirts leader later went to Bukit Aman, where he had been summoned for questioning over reports lodged by the electoral watchdog. Also making headlines on Wednesday, Deputy Health Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Hilmi Yahya said that the Sultana Aminah Hospital in Johor Bahru has closed all 12 operating theatres and transferred services to nearby hospitals. This was in response to the fire which broke out on October 25th, which killed 6 patients at the hospital's ICU. Dr. Hilmi added that the hospital's ICU has since been transferred to the Sultan Ismail Hospital, and there was no necessity to take up the Johor Sultan's offer to open up the royal wards for patients. He also gave his assurance that the field hospital set up by the military was sufficient. In the meantime, the obese man from Cebu who needed 20 firemen and a lorry to help get him to hospital in September is on the road to recovery. Sia Chi Heng no longer suffers from breathing difficulty and can sit up on his hospital bed. The 33-year-old is currently receiving physiotherapy to help him walk and lose weight. According to his mother, Sia developed the weight problem 2 years ago after injuring his right heel at a timber camp. His weight ballooned from 100 to 250 kilos. In Miri, the Australian hiker who got lost in the Mulu National Park apologized for deviating from the approved routes for visitors and not getting a guide to show him the way. As such, the 25-year-old lost his bearings and failed to retrace his passage. He also thanked the authorities as well as the Malaysian community for their support. Gaskell is now recovering in hospital, from where he told Australia's ABC by phone he ate virtually nothing apart from a few wild ferns. Aside from hunger, he said he had infected cuts on his feet but sustained no major injuries. More than 60 personnel from Sarawak's Fire and Rescue Department were deployed in the search for Gaskell, who was reported missing on October 20th. Hillary Clinton launched a final week election offensive to lock down the state of Florida, which is key to Donald Trump's White House dream, as polls show their race narrowing.
Renewed FBI scrutiny of Clinton's controversial use of a private email server as Secretary of State has excited Republicans and underlined public doubts about the Democrats' trustworthiness.
At least we need somebody in there that's going to be truthful. You know, if you can't be truthful on emails, how can you be truthful to the American public?
I think these emails have been just ongoing for the past election, and so it's not going to change my vote. So let's go Hillary.
The ABC News Washington Post tracking poll showed Donald Trump leading Clinton by 46 to 45%, reflecting other polls that still put Clinton in the lead, but suggest the race has narrowed as November 8th looms. Meanwhile, in Carmel, a suburb near Indianapolis, a Malaysian-born voter looks forward to his third election.
On election day, we go to the church. There are a lot of volunteers. They set up the voting station, the voting machine. Last time I took my son to the voting station, I let my son to hit the submit button. He was very excited because here you're allowed to take the kids and show them how you vote. And I want my kids to appreciate the freedom to choose their leaders.
When the 41-year-old first came to the US in 1996, media outlets gave him the impression that Republicans are the so-called devils. But he has since learned how to gather balanced news to help him make an informed decision at the polls. Surprisingly, Choi revealed he wants to give Donald Trump a chance to protect Americans and create more jobs.
I think Donald Trump will become a better president. So many years in US, I've seen the corruption and everything. And Hillary will misuse the federal email server, but because she knows people and she could still get around with that. And I don't like that kind of corruption. I think it's better for a non-politician to try to run the country. You know, Hillary is a lawyer, so she can use a lot of nice language, but at the end, I don't feel like she's speaking my feeling. Donald Trump is very simple. His slogan, you know, "Make America Great Again." It's like, wow, yeah, I want to. It's very concrete, very precise what American people want.
In other news, a fire broke out at a karaoke lounge in the Vietnamese capital of Hanoi on Tuesday, killing at least 13 people. It was a rare accident of its kind for which the Prime Minister demanded an investigation and punishment for safety violations. The Hanoi city government was also ordered to close down karaoke parlors and restaurants which failed to observe fire preventive measures. South Korea's presidential office named a new prime minister and finance minister in the wake of a scandal involving President Park Geun-hye and a friend accused of meddling in state affairs.
국무총리, 경제부총리, 국민안전처 장관 인사를 단행하기로 했습니다. 먼저 신임 국무총리에는 김병준 현 국민대 교수를 내정했습니다.
The Blue House also named Financial Services Commission Chairman Yim Jong-yong as the new Finance Minister and Deputy Prime Minister. Rumor has it that former swashbuckling pirate Johnny Depp will be stepping into J.K. Rowling's Wizarding World of Magic in the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them sequel. The Hollywood Reporter and Variety reported that the 53-year-old actor will co-star in the 2018 sequel alongside Oscar winner Eddie Redmayne. The report also said that Depp will make a cameo in the first film, but did not reveal which part he will play.
That's our daily serving of Cuppa News. Thanks for watching.